Hello guys, Wahoo here, back with another video. This time around, yes, with the Shadowhunter Rework. It's also live on the PTS server. It came to me as a surprise because right now the forums are down. That's also why this looks different. Also why this says 2017 and the link says 2017. So I think they're like on some old stuff that they could post, so they could get this information out there. So I'm just thinking they're using some old ancient servers or something like that. They can put these things on, and you know, that's not where the game runs. Before people makes a lot of memes out of that. The game is also running on those ancient servers. But we did get the Shadowhunter Rework, and I'll go over that. We also have to take a look at the night, and the other video I'm going to do is, of course, the gameplay. I'm going to show what the Shadowhunter is now, and then also how it's going to be. So I think this just all this is linked in the description as it always is, and I'll go through the different things that we are going to talk about and stuff like that. Skip the parts that are not too interesting. I have read all of them, so we'll go through everything there is to do. So first, let's jump into the Shadowhunter update. So when I first saw this, I clicked it and I saw like, okay, 2017, what is this? What is this weird thing? But then I saw down here that the abilities are definitely changed, and they have a lot of text here. You should probably read if you want to go more into detail about what their thoughts was about how what their intentions are, of course, or what their goal was, I guess more accurate, about the Shadowhunter Rework that we are looking at. But the new passive is Dark Whispers. So before we had Shadow Mark, and that's basically the same thing. They're just kind of buffed it a little bit, where now enemies still get marked as they usually do, also still through walls and stuff like that, but now you can shoot through walls as the Shadowhunter, which is pretty interesting. I'm not sure if I like it yet or not. We'll see when I get my hands on it. I haven't tried it yet. I've just, get patch notes. I'm doing those for you now, and then after I'm gonna get my hands on the PTS server and see what it does. But it's 250%. It does AoE damage around the target. We don't know how much AoE damage, but I would assume if you put up enemies like one here and one next to each other, they could at least hit that. I'm not sure we're gonna hit like that huge of an area. I wouldn't think that would be the case there, but they do want to inflict some more AoE, because it is lacking that, and this is what we've been talking about for a long time. That's what it's very nice single target, but it's not very good at that. Also, it's dodging now. The dodging gives you a little movement speed boost for a short time. So if this also works in coin collections, that's what I'm thinking. It might actually be the best, Shadowhunter be the best to actually do, coin collection challenges with, because you did get a lot extra. It's already a very nice animation for doing the dodge, and I think they're gonna keep that. I don't see why they wouldn't keep it, but if they gain that little extra movement speed as well in there, it's gonna be the best for coin collection challenge. Just a little thing, but I still do them all the time, so I'm happy. I've always been using the I've always been using the Shadowhunter if I didn't use another class, right? But mostly I go to the Shadowhunter. So if this is a buff to my experience as a coin collection enthusiast, if you can say it like that. All right, base attack. So basic shot are now increased to 400%, up from 250%. So now it's 400%. Also, the projectile size has been increased. So that doesn't mean that it gained AoE. It's just that maybe it was hitting this on the screen, but now maybe it's hitting like this on the screen or something like that. Also, additionally, the base attacks are gonna shoot for walls, as it says right here. Not new, but the gem attack. It said a gem attack. I don't know why it said. I think that's because they're not they're not changing the gem. I think that's just the attack of the gem that you get is that you become that rapid fire as we are used to. But now instead of it only be at 100%, it's now 200%. Also, again, the ability is going through walls, but we have to see what that means on the on the PTS server when we get that. Now we got a new primal ability that is Shadow Seekers. Shadow Seekers requires one Seeker to use, and basically it shoots or launches all the Seekers you have gathered up. You can get 5 of them. I'm not sure how you get them yet, but they do closest targets below the target dealing. Okay, so you launch once, and yeah, the Shadowhunter can store up to 5. So I think you just get them over time, like you get, for example, the Tomb Raiser. That's my guess, that you just, hoard them up, and then you can have 5 at a time. And then when you use the ability, you use one of them, or maybe all of them. All of them. It does say all of them. So if you stack up 5, you get all of them, and then they'll do 5 times 900 damage. Because that. Oh, each seeker increasing damage. Okay, fired. Okay, so it's 900 damage, not 5 times 900. It's just 900 when you have 5 of them. Next thing is the Sun Snare, and that's the trap you're used to now. It deals 400 damage and stuns the enemies. Again, I don't think it's gonna be too much. I also apply the shadow mark, but I think it still gets randomly applied to people. I don't think you have to use the Sun Snare. I hope so not, but we'll see when we get that. New ultimate ability. I'm very excited to use this ability. You fire a large damaging arrow of energy that deals 300 damage every 0.5 seconds for 7.5 seconds. So that's about 15 seconds, or 15 times it deals 3. So that's 15. If it hits the enemy all the time, it will be 15 times 300%. So that's pretty significant. That's about 3,000. About, what would it be? 3,000. About maybe 4,500 or something like that percent in total. It will do. I don't know. Don't quote me on that math, but it was just, yeah. The arrow pierces the target and blocks, so it goes through any blocks. That means it also goes through walls and stuff. It doesn't say. I don't know why it wouldn't say walls, but blocks. But it does go through the target as long as the ability button is held down. You continue to fire arrows until you run out of energy. Oh, okay. So now you have a use for your energy. Very cool. Slows the player greatly. Sorry. Damage over time effect stacks multiple times on the same target. That's what I'm saying. It does do that. So. It's just very interesting, and I don't know. I was kind of hoping for something even more, to be honest, but it might just be it's still pretty cool. Definitely some changes it needed, but maybe it's just because I was expecting something else. I don't know. But then they talk about something with the combat update, and they say now that constructed in 60-bit precision health, and now longer bosses are limited to mere 2 million health. So we're gonna see some more health to that, and also something to do with the delves as well. The additional updates for the classes, they say that they want to shake up the meta. So I think they just don't like my my tier list. It doesn't seem like they really enjoy my tier list, because I have to do a little bit of changes. There's going to be a little changes to some of them. Don't worry, there's not going to be a big change as far as I've been reading through these. There is some buffs to all of them, but I don't think it's going to be like shaking everything up that just like it totally like changes everything. I have no idea. This is going to be a clear winner, and I'm going to get to that. So let's talk about the boomer. The boomer is a buff to the boomer. Everything is up. You can read the numbers if you want to do so. You can go to the description, or you can just pause the video if you want to do so. But yeah, it's a buff. I'm just gonna go over everything, if it's a buff or a nerf to the class, because they want to shake things up, but I don't feel like they're shaking it up that much actually. But yeah, the boomer, a buff. To the gunslinger, we got a nerf to the gunslinger. Don't really feel like it should have gotten a nerf. It's kind of went out of meta in a way. It is a small nerf for sure, but I don't feel like. I guess if you're hitting every class, sure, it should get a nerf as well. But yeah, it is a nerf to the gunslinger. Fey Trickster, there is a buff to the Fey Trickster. If I look right over my side here, is because I made a list of which one of them, so I remembered which one got buffed and nerfed. But the Fey Trickster is buffed, and I think this is gonna put it in the S tier. Actually, it is in the A tier. It's been like the top A tiers, of this class. So I think I'm just gonna put it up in the S tier, just because of that. It's not been bad. It's just I don't know if maybe there wasn't room for it, you can say, but yeah. Something is really, really crazy is that Ice Age is actually also buffed. These two actually, these are two small buffs. Sure, it's small buffs, but it actually, I'm like, the Ice Age is probably like the best one there's out there. It's my personal best in the best of the best, if that makes any sense. And it's getting buffed. I'm very surprised. It's not big numbers again. It's about 100% there, and like about 90% there, right? But if they really want to shake it up, they should have nerfed it. It should have been on nerf side, right? All those S tier classes, they should have nerfed them, but there's a clear winner, and that's gonna be that, because we got the Chloromancer down here, and that's a loser. It's not a big loss, but it's like 50% here, 60% there. It is again 20. It is a nerf all around to everything there is with the Chloromancer. You hate to see it. You hate to see. I don't think the Chloromancer needed. Like, sure, like you go ahead and you nerf the Gunslinger, so you should have gone and nerfed the Chloromancer as well. But buffing the Ice Age and then nerfing the Chloromancer, that makes really no sense to me. Like, sure, it is strong. The Chloromancer is an S tier class, but I don't see why. Like, the Ice Age is a S tier as well, so I don't see, like, now it's like S tier plus or something like that, right? It's just significantly left the Chloromancer behind. It basically waving to it, and like, yeah, you see you in the A tier Chloromancer. I would put it now in. I would put Chloromancer in the A tier, and that's also just because I'm not a big fan of the Chloromancer. I'm sorry if there's so many Chloromancers watching there. I'm sorry if that. I could be, nice and put it in between, sure, but I don't know. It does make, the gap between S tier and A tier a little bit better, I guess. You can go to the Chloromancer and then Ice Age, I guess. I don't know if that's a thing, but buff to the Candy Barb, very nice. Get to see what that's all about. Neon Ninja, another buff for the Neon Ninja. Knight, that's the one we're gonna look at. You can see there's a lot of significant changes to this. Movement speed when attacking increased. That's something I'm very excited for. I don't like that they're doing this much for the Knight because I think the Knight also needs a rework, and I'm pretty sure it's still coming. But I don't like when they does so much things to a class that needs a rework. Like the Knight problem is not really its damage. It's not really the survivability of it. That's not the problem. The problem is just it doesn't have interesting skills to play around with. You just use your auto attack, and sometimes you use your number one ability to move yourself. Sometimes you might even use your ultimate just to heal yourself up, but other than that, you don't really use it. Like the problem is not its damage. That's not what makes the Knight boring. It just makes it's the skills that is in the Knight. It just needs. So why I'm saying this is because I don't want them to hide behind. If we keep saying, hey, are we gonna see some sort of more interesting play to the Knight? I don't hope they're gonna say, well, we did do something for it in this patch. So I'm just hoping that it doesn't exclude that we're gonna get a rework to the Knight, right? I don't hope this is just a band-aid they're putting on it and then saying, hey, we did something for the Knight, then it's fine. Now we're gonna rework some of the other classes, because some of the other classes need it as well. Like the Boomer as well kind of needs it as well, even though it also got buffed. I don't want buffs for the different classes. I don't want buffs. I want reworks. I want more interesting gameplay. I want something like we got for the Lunar Lancer, for the Neon Ninja, not Neon Ninja, sorry, the Chloromancer. And like I said, the Lunar Lancer. Also maybe for the Shadowhunter. I haven't tried yet, but at least it seems pretty more interesting, right? All right, enough of that. I just wanted to rant a little bit on the Knight. So Vanguardian is also a buff. Dino Tamer is also a buff to the Dino Tamer. Dino Tamer was not bad at all. This might even put it in the S tier, actually. I don't know if we're just gonna put it on the S tier. I don't think I still want to put it in the S tier because I don't think it's going to be a boss killer still, but it's just going to be even better for farming. So people that are Dino Tamers that are farming on Dino Tamers, I know there's a lot of Dino Tamers out there that are farming and love the all the speed you can get on it and farming. This is just it might get. I wouldn't say it gets better than the Neon Ninja, because there's nothing there's nothing. What would you say? There's nothing buffing the speed of the Neon Ninja, but clear speed, I guess. I don't know. I guess they just become equal, I guess, maybe. Again, the speed hasn't been changed, but I couldn't say really. I think maybe they just become on. Oh, both of them got buff. Maybe Neon Ninja is still ahead. I don't know. Okay, so we got the Pirate Captain. Also a buff to the Pirate Captain. Also a buff to, of course, the Revenant, very small one. I'm very surprised that it got a small one. Maybe it's because that's what they want to rework next time. I don't know. And then very surprisingly, also the Dracolite got a buff, and maybe it's just because I like the Dracolite so much, I'm very surprised. It's 15% right here, it does not 30% here, so it's not a big, it is 50% here, but also the minions 100%. Wow, okay, yikes, they already do a lot of damage already, in my opinion. So Dracolite, I love the buffs to Dracolite. Yeah, cool, I love him. I'm happy that they didn't get nerfed. It didn't need a nerf. I think it was just fine as it is. So, but I understand. Tomb Raiser is a nerf to the Tomb Raiser. Not too many things, just to slam a little bit of the percentage down. Also a little bit of the the skills for the small skeletons you do. So a little nerf to that is a small nerf, not anything significant at all. But and then for the board, they just fix something. I don't know if that's gonna do a lot. Sometimes fixes do actually a lot for classes, because if somewhat ability just not work at all, they don't even tweak the numbers on the damage, but that just like makes it jump up like multiple tiers sometimes and stuff like that, just because they fixed some, like they did the same thing with the Dracolite. Like the Dracolite went from I guess it like, not, I wouldn't say B tier in a way, but yeah, probably B tier back then, maybe even lower back then. But the only thing they changed with it was that instead of having 40% chance, I think it was 40% chance on your bombs to spawn yourself the little Dino Dracolite baby, right? They now have 100%. That shot it up like for definitely way high up, for sure, because you were guaranteed, you knew every time was coming. And that's what actually something I said for the Chloromancer rework. All they really had to do was, because you could spawn cactuses with your class gem, and I just said, hey, I think there was also a 40% chance on that. Just make that 100% as well, and that wouldn't be fine per se, but that would be an easy fix. They could do that really easily, right? And then there's some additional updates down here. They're changing the names. I think you should go check these out, because they are changing it from deconstructing to loot collecting and fixing a few things. They're also changing temporary styles to favorite and stuff. So go check that out a little bit. There's not very much you have to read here right here, but just know that something, if you're wondering, hey, what happened to this name? This wasn't what it was called before and stuff like that. So just wanted to make sure of that. So yeah, that was the patch notes. As I said, they are down there in the description. If you want to, see the also the gameplay of the the PTS server, I'll also link that in the description, of course. And of course the other video, link back to this one, and so on, so on. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the patch note rework. I am gonna head into the PTS server, so maybe I will see you there. If not, thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!